Eastern medicine for over 4,000 years has taken a look at the body on the cellular level. And what we know is the body's made up of trillions of cells, and there's different cells that perform different functions in the body. Now, the other thing we know about the body is that the cells have the ability to communicate with the other cells of the body. Western medicine has just recently taken a look, more in the last 25 years, taken a look at what's occurring on the cellular level. Western scientists have been able to figure out what's the normal vibrations, frequencies, and sound waves occurring on the cellular level. And now we do know that when the body gets bombarded, either externally or internally, that it has the effect on the cells and knocks off the harmonics of the cells. Now, what CieAura was able to do is take this research, take this information that the scientists have been able to figure it out and develop a product that has the ability to communicate with the cells of the body. So what we find out is that when this holographic chip is placed within an inch of the body, that it has the ability to communicate with the cells of the body, restore normal vibrations and frequencies at a cellular level, and that ultimately ends up with a healthy cell so that our symptoms, our problems that we're having get much better.
It's based on vibration, it's based on energy, the flow of energy, and we're put together with electromagnetic strength, like small magnets, and that's what all the atoms and all the cells are put together, and they're moving and vibrating, and they're supposed to have a certain frequency, a certain energy, and it's kind of like all the body parts. The arms, the legs, the organs, the hormones are all different orchestra members, and they're supposed to play a certain song. And if any of those parts are out of work or out of harmony, then it just causes chaos. So anything that's as life-changing as the CieAura chip puts those energies back into harmony, and it helps them get the right vibration, and it's just what makes health start happening automatically.
My background before I got in CieAura, as a child I was a gymnast, and then I was a collegiate gymnast, and then I ended up playing women's professional football for Houston Energy, and then I actually started doing triathlons and running marathons and doing anything that I could that was sports related, which led me into my career now, which is I'm a chiropractor, a clinical nutritionist, a naturopathic physician. When I understood what it does, what the product really does, because I had researched it, and I realized that now this is something that's actually here, I thought to myself, I would be doing more of a disservice to my patients by not letting them use it than just holding back. So for me I'm excited about endorsing it or promoting it because truly, I have seen it in my practice. It has changed people's lives. And to me, changing someone's life is priceless. The question you can ask anyone is, do you know someone who has trouble resting, who has discomfort, or who needs more energy?
The sleeping chip has been wonderful for me. It's really changed my life. Well, one night I had put my chip on like I do always now, and I was sleeping fine, and this was early on, and my wife woke up, and that's very unusual. It was a lot more usual that I would be awake and she would be asleep, and she realized she needed the sleeping chip too. Now Cherry does not go to sleep without the sleep chip on. My son, Luke, is a professional keyboard player and was having wrist pain. And I told him, he was in the company, but he wasn't using the pain chip on his wrist. And I told him, put the chip on. He called me the next day, and he would literally play the piano or the keyboard sometimes 7 to 8 hours a day, practicing and playing professionally. And he said, Dad, these things really work.
And by wearing an energy chip, I found that I'm not nearly as short-fused. I don't lose my temper near as much. And it's so much fun now to work through the day and be focused. I can see 5 or 6 patients. Then I can go tend to my own office practice books. Then I can review an article for the medical journal. Then I can see some more patients. And come at the end of the day, I'm really fascinated because I'm not exhausted. I'm rejuvenated and feel 40 years old again. I now have 3 tools that do things that I could never do before. It is very exciting, and the patients are almost as excited as I am.
I played baseball in college, and so have athletic background. I have an exercise physiology degree, was my first one. I have a Bachelor of Science degree as well. Didn't know what to do with them, so I went back to school and I got my doctorate of chiropractic. Being an ex-athlete, still staying very active with golf and in the gym, all my aches and pains over all those years have pretty much subsided itself just by getting a good deep sleep and my body allowing to heal itself. Getting a little bit up in age. I'm 46 now. The energy chip has been, just wonderful. I use it, for the energy, placement as well as for the focus, and just done wonders for me. I injured my shoulder about 10 months ago and tore a rotator cuff muscle and tried to do the rehab myself in my own office. I went to some of my colleagues and I was just not getting the success that I wanted with it. I put the pain chip on the anterior side of my shoulder, the front side, and didn't do anything. And so I went into doctor mode and realized that it probably was referral pain, so I put it to the back side of my shoulder, and within 5 minutes, the discomfort, subsided. And from there I was able to rehab it properly, and it's now back to 100%.
This is the first time in 21 years of practice that we've had a tool that would specifically address the electromagnetic side and the communication aspect of the body that we can utilize on their own, not in the office, but on their own, even in between visits, that they can help themselves. Once people understand the concept of structure, chemistry, and electricity in the body, they want a tool that'll help with electricity. These things provide that tool, very high tech, but very simple to use. We don't hear a lot of objections other than someone may say, well, I didn't feel the results in the first day. One thing I preach to them is duration, hydration. They got to be drinking good water. Another thing I throw in there in my practice is leave it on long enough for it to be effective. This may take longer than 2 or 3 days. It's taken you 20 years to develop this issue. Let's give it a little time. Keep working with these. Give it at least 10 days to 2 weeks to see if you see results before you judge it. So, and most people, once they do that, they're willing to try that, and they're willing to give it an honest effort.
With my patients, I'm seeing successes in all 3 categories. As a chiropractor, people are coming to me because they have discomfort and chronic discomfort. Most of the time when they're coming to a chiropractor, they've already exhausted other measures. I have 3 or 4 particular cases where I've known all treatments have failed, and this hologram has given them relief. Same thing with rest. I have many patients who have fatigue. They don't sleep well at night, so their bodies don't heal and repair. The Rest Quiet chip has provided them good night's sleep, thus they feel better. And the same thing with energy. It's a way that I can give some of these patients relief of their low energy, while it may take 3 to 6 weeks to even 3 months before their nutritional program kicks in to where now they feel something immediately instead of having to wait for it.
I got the relief chips, and basically I put them on my back, and the discomfort that I had was absolutely almost virtually gone the next day. And I had an opportunity to go out and play some golf for a couple of days, and to me, when that discomfort was totally relieved, it was amazing. When I see patients, I bring it in and I actually show them the holographic chips. And I say, hey, take a look at this. And I flash them around and I'll tell them to look at it. And I go, you know what's phenomenal about these new technology chips? I go, is that there is no medicine and there's no drugs in it. Nothing's going to be transferred to your body. And I said, that excites me from the standpoint that I've been able to prescribe you other medications that do harm you and do cause adverse side effects, and this doesn't. And they all look at me and 100% they go, man, that's phenomenal. I want to try it. And then I just go ahead and I put them on them if I have to put them on them, or if they're a rest quiet, they'll use them at night. I'll just give them the instructions with it, and basically I'll just tell them stay well hydrated. I give them my phone number. I said, I want to hear from you, and I am hearing constantly, day after day, the fantastic improvement.